Hi, Taurus. Welcome to your November 2021 astrological forecast. You know, the sun and other planets are in your opposite sign of Scorpio. Okay, where you have Scorpio in your chart is your seventh house of close relationships and partnerships. So it's this time every year that this is like your focal point in a way, you know, that draws your attention to your romantic partner, your business partner, a close friend, any close relationship. Okay, so the sun is in your seventh house, okay, directly across from your first house in Taurus. So it's a little bit of a tug of war between planets, okay? The sun is in Scorpio up until the 20th. Mars is here all month, okay? Mercury moves into Scorpio on the 5th, and there's a new moon in Scorpio on the 4th. So that new moon could bring like a new beginning in your relationship. You know, if anything that you want to change within that relationship, now would be the time to do it, because having Mars here, first of all, I might have pointed out, oh no, I don't think I did last month, because I saved it for this month, right? Because Mars just moved into Scorpio on October 30th. So anyway, I'll give you the rundown that I tell everybody when Mars is in their seventh house, okay? It means, you know, when planets are in your seventh house, they're directly across from your first house. Okay, so it's like a little bit of the low point of the year. The high point of the year is when planets are in your own sign. When they're in your opposite sign, things become just a little bit more, you have to pay attention, let's put it that way, okay? Whereas other times things just go about their merry way. But usually something happens at this time where you have to like stop and think about it or deal with it, okay? And I have to say this simply because that you have the planet Uranus transiting in your first house, which brings about an awful lot of unexpected occurrences, okay? Events or even reactions, actions by you and reactions by you or other people, okay? The unexpected is like a little bit of a theme in your life when this planet is here. Having Mars in your seventh house, though, Mars is an aggressive planet. It's an action-oriented planet. It's the ego planet, though, also, okay? A lot of times, people come out of the woodwork just to push your buttons when Mars is here. People just try to get a charge out of you. This is because the seventh house, being close friends and all that other stuff, is also the house of open enemies. And that is someone that everyone knows you don't like, and they don't like you. It's a common thing, you know, I mean, it's common knowledge. So it's not really a big surprise to anyone, but a lot of times this is when that open enemy starts to act up, okay? We'll do things to like set you off, just to, especially in public, okay, to make you look like, you know, like a jerk or something. If this is in business, because this Mars brings competition, okay? So at this time, you know, a competitor could start acting up against you and your business or whatever, trying to take your business, your clients, your customers, something or other. As far as a close friend, and they could be like kind of pushy. Everybody is kind of pushy right now towards you. Or at least that's the way you view it. And I would if I were you, because they more than likely are being overbearing at this time. So somebody, you know, around that new moon, you could decide that you and whomever, that there's some kind of change necessary in your relationship. You know, if it is romantic, this is the time to speak up and do all of these things, same business-wise, or if you have a friend even that, I don't know, maybe you feel like you always have to ask them to do stuff with you, and you can't like go do stuff with your other friends. You always have to include this person. And I don't know how you get out of that one. So whatever, you know, whatever you come up with, okay? Because there is a full moon partial eclipse in your sign on the 19th. So whatever occurs around this new moon on the 4th, you're like, oh great, you know, this is like what I wanted and blah blah blah. But by the time the full moon comes along, all the people that you had to deal with around the new moon, they're probably not on board. They don't like it. They don't like whatever change you wanted to make or you did make or blah blah blah, you know, they don't like it. Okay, so the full moon brings it all to the surface. Okay, that's why it's there for everyone to deal with, especially you. You know, who cares if they don't like it? This was what you wanted. It was more than likely necessary, right? That's why you're making the change. You don't just wake up one day and go, oh, I'm going to do this differently in my relationships. No, it's something you've been thinking about for how long now. Okay, so you try to implement it, and not everyone's happy with it. You know, whatever. They'll get over it. You know, I'm just letting you know ahead of time, though, that the full moon does bring things to the surface so they can be dealt with. Okay? And, you know, maybe even once it's out there, whomever you're dealing with is like, oh, I didn't know that. Or I didn't know you really felt that way. I thought you were kidding. Or, oh, I don't know. You know, they'll try something to gloss it over. But you know they knew what you meant. But anyways, that's what's kind of like in store for you, I'd have to say, for most of this month. But other than that, though, the sun moves into Sagittarius on the 21st. And Mercury moves there on the 24th. Okay, where you have Sagittarius in your chart is your 8th house of jointly held resources. So this could be where some of this stuff is coming from. Okay, the 8th house is a money house, but it is other people's resources and money, but it's also jointly held, like bank accounts, credit cards, property of any kind. So if you own something with someone else, especially like a business partner, that's where a lot of this crap could be coming from, any kind of aggression, okay? If it's a romantic partner, there, you know, you're going to be like talking about, you know, who's spending too much money, who's running up the credit card bills, blah, blah, blah. You know, if it's a friend, you know, you could be like, you know, I can't do that much stuff with you anymore because you're making me spend money. All I do is spend money. Everything we do, we spend money. It's always money, 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 you know. Something like that, okay? So, the changes could possibly be here, okay? But also, the 8th house is passive money. It's money coming to you through means other than earning it. And as long as you have the planet Uranus in your sign, and the theme of unpredictability and surprises in your life due to this planet, I'm going to have to say that this could be one of those times where you're on the receiving end of a legacy or inheritance. This is insurance payouts, okay? Money coming from a legal settlement or an insurance settlement, okay? Money coming from the bank, an error possibly that they made, or any kind of financial institution, even like the IRS, okay? So if there is something that's due you, you know, because Venus was just here, okay? Now, Venus is still here at the beginning of the month for the first 4 days, okay? Then I'll get to this in a minute, okay? Because it moves into Capricorn. But, so Venus was in your 8th house, like last month and stuff, and made other people's resources available to you, you know, a little bit more, maybe not a lot of things, but a little bit more cooperation even from people who held the purse strings, like a bank or a credit card company or something like that. So now that the Sun and Mercury are here, if there was something that's you were supposed to be receiving, it doesn't even have to be money. Okay, it could be anything. I believe that this is when it'll get fixed. You know, you'll finally, especially with Mercury being here, okay, it should bring about some kind of movement in that area. Okay, now Venus does move into Capricorn on the 5th and stays in Capricorn until March 6th of next year. It's there this long, okay, and thankfully, Capricorn's a fellow Earth sign like you, so this planet will off and on trine your sun or whatever other planets you have in Taurus. Okay, it will create a 120-degree angle in your chart, and this is a very, very nice aspect. Okay, having Venus in your ninth house of long distance travel and communications, media, publishing, higher learning, like philosophy, your philosophy on life, your religious beliefs, your opinions, period. But your cultural background, foreign anything, foreign languages, foreigners, foreign countries, foreign travel especially, okay? But just having Venus here, Pluto's been here for a really long time now, okay? So it's really changed your opinion, I'd have to say, when it comes to religion and philosophy and whatever, and you've more than likely taken up some kind of foreign cultural belief or tradition of some kind. It could even be just like food, you know, a recipe, or something like yoga or something physical that you do, okay? Some kind of ritual even, but it helps you in some way, okay? But because Venus and Pluto will be here together for a really long time, it will bring about sometime or other a bit of an obsessive quality in this area of your life. But I'll get into that a little more later, because it really doesn't affect you all that much, especially with the house that it's occurring in, ninth house and stuff. You know, I don't see too much problems with this, except that you might be really attracted to, like, someone who lives in another country. You might have a long distance relationship with somebody that is like, you feel possibly is like your soulmate or something like that. You know, you may finally encounter them, but they live in another part of the world, you know, whatever. That's a very long distance romance, right? So that's about it for now. You know, just that whole thing, if you could just you know, keep in mind that you're not imagining it. People are acting a little bit more aggressively towards you than they normally do, and it's because of that Mars. Mars in your opposite sign of Scorpio. Okay, so the best time to do something each month is when the moon is in your own sign, and the moon is in Taurus on the 17th, 18th, and 19th. The best time to lay low is when the moon is in your opposite sign, and your opposite sign is Scorpio, and those dates are the 4th and 5th. The best time for romance, recreation, creativity, fun, any kind of gambling or speculation, and anything to do with children is the 12th, 13th, 14th, 27th, and 28th. The best time for money is the 6th, 7th, 19th, 20th, and 21st. The best time for your career is the 10th and 11th. And the best time for communication and travel is the 8th, 9th, 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. I'd like to thank all of my subscribers for continuing to support me. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing and liking and sharing this video. Check out Ask Me a Question in the description box below. It's for people who only are curious about one thing in their chart. They don't need their whole chart done. They just want to know one specific thing. But if you would like to have your entire chart done, there's a link there to my website where you can find more information on that. Okay, and check out my weekly forecast. So I will see you next week. Goodbye.